Hello, welcome everyone. My name's Claire. Thank you for joining me today with this small session, it's about 20 minutes or so, to help us with some grounding. You might want a few props for the session. Blocks like this, if you've not got blocks, you can use a couple of thick blocks, work okay. A folded blanket is good for extra padding. You might want to sit on or under your knees. A bolster or a fairly chunky pillow like this is also good, or you might want a couple of cushions. You might also want to use the edge of the sofa or a chair at some point. So today's session is themed around the chakras. These are the energy centres along your spine, from the root at the very base of your spine through to the crown at the top of your head. They are linked in with your central nervous system. Sometimes these energies become a little blocked or misaligned. This can reflect maybe in the way you'd be feeling physically or emotionally, mentally. You can be a little out of sorts, as they say, and the energies in there can say become a bit stagnated, especially with the hectic times that we have these days. I know many people are very busy, so you can feel somewhat disconnected from nature or from your sort of yourself even. With this in mind, we're going to focus on the root chakra, the Muladhara, which sits right at the base of your spine, in the perineum. And each of the chakras correspond to solar plexuses, which are like a bundle of nerves and ganglion. The root chakra is linked to the perineal and sacral plexuses, and it associates our physical body's connection to the earth. So this practice will help to strengthen that connection. The Muladhara is also the foundation base chakra, so it's important for the flow of the energy through all the other chakras. So we'll start in a nice easy seat like this. You might want to put a block or cushions under your knees if that's more comfortable. You might want to sit on a block. Sometimes it's nice to sit on a block, it helps to keep the spine more aligned. Or a cushion or a blanket. So we'll start just by taking some deep breaths and connecting with ourselves and feeling the connection between the ground and the earth. So we breathe in slowly and deeply, filling into the belly, and then up into the lungs, and then let it all go. You might want to close your eyes here while you do this. So just slowly breathing in and out. Try to make the exhalation slightly longer than the inhalation, so you could breathe in for 4 or 5, and then out for 6, maybe 7 breaths counts. This is the easiest way, this type of breathing, to slow down your heart rate, and because the type of breathing connects directly to your parasympathetic nervous system. So it's the easiest way to do this slow breathing with the longer exhalation to feel a sense of calm. So if we just do 4 more deep in and out breaths. Just feel the ground beneath your sit bones, as they say, underneath the base of your spine, underneath your hips. Try and keep your back nice and straight. Sorry, keep your back nice and straight. Feel the alignment up through along the spine. Have a slight tuck to your chin. It helps to keep your neck and head nice and aligned as well. you might want to take this moment while you're just connecting to your breath. Feel the breath in and out of your body. Feel that, try and feel inside your body is something that we don't very often take time to do. Just slow down with the breath. You might even want to set an intention here for your practice. I sometimes like to just keep it simple with something like the calm that I feel during my practice I will take forward into the rest of my day, something like that. But you can choose whatever intention you like, just say it inwardly to yourself. Okay, so on your next exhalation, we're just here in a nice easy seat, and we'll just limber up the spine and the lumbar region and the thoracic spine with a few simple twists. So on your inhalation, breathe in and lengthen your spine, and on the exhalation, twist to the right, bringing your left hand onto your right knee, onto the outer edge of your right knee. Right arm just comes behind you, resting just on your fingertips, just for that bit of stability. On the inhalation, you want to lengthen each time, and on the exhalation, try and twist a little more. Only go as far as feels right for you, don't over twist. It looks like a very simple pose, but it can be one for over twisting if you take it too deep. So just go to where's comfortable for you today. And we'll take 3 deep breaths here. Bring your gaze slightly behind you, sort of like looking over that right shoulder. And on your next exhalation, come back to centre. Just roll out a little, if that's comfy for you. And then inhale, and then we twist to the left. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and twist. 3 deep breaths, inhaling and lengthening. Exhaling and twisting a little more to where is comfortable for you. Don't raise your shoulders up, try and keep those shoulders down away from your ears. And exhale back to centre. Now another great exercise for feeling grounded and calm while we're sitting here, but also good for the spine and just feeling into your body, is the cat-cow. Now traditionally it's done on all fours, but this is all, you can do this variation, which is a seated cat-cow. So basically I'll just do a quick demo. On the inhalation, you come forwards, lift your chin towards the sky, broaden across the chest, keep your shoulders down, and on the exhalation you round back, bringing your navel in, rounding through your shoulders, and you're broadening across your shoulders and back, tucking your chin. Inhale and raise. Exhale and round. You just want to do 5 of these following your own breath. It's quite nice to shut your eyes whilst doing this. Just feeling, opening your chest and your heart up, broadening across your shoulder blades on the exhale. Just do 1 more of these. Exhale and round, and then come back to a neutral spine. Just take a minute to just get your breath back to natural feeling comfortable. And then we'll come up to standing and meet in Tadasana, mountain pose. This is a perfect grounding pose. You want to stand with your feet slightly apart, nice and straight spine, arms down by your sides. Feel as if you're being pulled up through your spine by a piece of string, up through the top of your head, through your crown. It's lifting all of you upwards, but at the same time you want to be relaxed. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Again, it's quite nice to close your eyes here if you feel balanced enough. Notice the sort of difference in the sensation in your body with your stability and your energy when you close your eyes. It makes you more aware of your physical body. Just take a couple of breaths here. Feel like you're rooting down through your feet, grounding down, getting that connection with the earth. Okay, now from here we're just going to run through a sun salutation sequence. Don't worry, not going to be a high energy, fast flowing one. It's going to take it nice and slow, but it's just a few movements that can help us. The poses within the sun salutation help align the chakras, and also brings us into a nice few poses. We use it as a transitional thing really to bring us into a few nice grounding standing poses. So if I face this way, so if you first thing is come to the top of your mat, facing forwards on the top edge of your mat. We start in Tadasana, and then we try and follow each movement through with the breath on the inhalations and exhalations. It helps keep that connection with your breath and with your body. If you lose it a little bit, don't worry. As I say, we're doing it a bit slower anyway. So, okay, so first inhale and raise your arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold forwards. You can have a bend in your knee here. Inhale, lift forwards into a half fold with your gaze facing forwards. Arms straight on the shins or on the floor, flat back. Exhale, back into forward fold. Now with your hands firmly planted, step your right foot back and your left foot back to come into a plank. Quite happy, the variation can be on your knees here, or you can be in full plank. If you're on your knees, you lower down to your chest, full plank, lower down in one go, come up into up dog, or if you're on your knees, you can just come up into cobra like this. So raise up, inhale into up dog and cobra, roll over on your toes and push back on the exhale into down dog. Now you can keep your knees bent here and your heels raised. It's quite nice to paddle the feet one then the other. This sort of just helps you get the feel into the pose, helps stretch out the calves and hamstrings. If you feel comfortable, you can stay like this with your feet raised, heels raised, knees bent. If you feel comfortable and want to come down into resting your heels on the floor, then do so. You can straighten your legs. What you're looking for is a nice long line up the back of the body. Hips, you want to try and raise your hips as high to the sky as you can, and bring your chest through towards your thighs. You never reach it, obviously. If you've got your knees bent, it's often a way of bringing that chest through a bit better. And your gaze is through between your legs to the floor behind you. Try and keep your shoulders, shoulder blades broad across your back, so you're not sort of scrunching up in the shoulders. Take a 2 deep breaths here, feeling the connection with the ground from your fingertips up through your arms, along your spine, and back down into your feet and your heels. Let your head loose. Okay, and then on the next inhalation, look forwards between your hands and step your left foot up to between your hands. If it doesn't quite get there, don't worry, you can give it a helping hand by lifting it and bringing it forwards. From here, twist, pivot on the toes of your back foot, so it's at a 45-degree angle, and then place the heel down. You might want to step in a little bit nearer. Your front knee should be bent, and then raise up into Warrior 2. Your body wants to be nice and straight in the middle here, not leaning forwards or backwards. Your hips should be pointing in the same direction as your back toes, so both pointing sort of towards this top right corner of your mat. Front knee wants to be over your ankle, and if you look down at your front leg, you want to see that your knees are aligned with your toes, so not falling out to that side or in. Arms at shoulder height. Your gaze is over the front fingertips. And again, feel the nice strengthening in your legs from the pressing down on the back edge of your back foot to really get that stability and grounding with the earth. And from here, we want to, on the next breath, exhalation, stretch our bodies forwards over that front leg, diagonally, and bring your left arm down to your left leg, like this. For a moment, you can put your right hand on your hip. You're trying to rotate your body out this way, bringing your chest out to the side and your hips. You can get a block and put a block just on the inside of that left foot, or if you want, you can reach down to the floor. I prefer to just rest my arm on my top of my knee, thigh, like this. I find that most comfortable. So do whatever's comfortable version for you. Then you want to sweep your right arm up and alongside your right ear, creating a nice long line again from that back outer edge of your back foot all the way up, along and out through your fingertips. And you want to look up, if that's comfortable for you. You can keep the balance underneath your sort of right armpit up to the sky. If you want to just keep your hand on your hip here, you can do. We'll just take 2 deep breaths, trying to feel that connection. And on the next inhalation, we roll back up, back into our Warrior 2. Okay, and then we're going to repeat those on the other side. So we basically turn your left foot in, so both feet are facing the long end of your mat, and then pivot on the front foot and the back foot. So your left back foot is now at a 45-degree angle, your front right foot is facing forwards. Bend, keeping your knee aligned over your ankle again. Hips pointing in the same direction as your back toes. Arms back up and back into Warrior 2 on this side. We'll stay for 3 breaths. And then we'll stretch forward, bring our right hand down to our right leg this time, or the block or the floor. into our extended side angle, sweeping your arm up and overhead. So you get that nice grounding down through the outer edge of your back foot, feeling that strength, supportedness from the earth all the way up your body and out through your fingers. Then on the next exhalation, we'll come back up into Warrior 2 and do 3 deep breaths here. You can have a look behind you and check that your arms are at shoulder height. That's sometimes quite nice to do, just checking in with your alignment. Sometimes you feel you might be dropping back like this, or you might have dropped your arm down. Okay, and on the next breath, you want to turn on your right foot so that both feet are facing the long edge of your mat. And then just step your feet together. We'll meet back into Dasana. Be nice to put your hands to heart center here for a minute. Or you can just leave them down by your sides if you prefer. Shut your eyes. Just feel into your body. Notice if it feels any different than it did before when we were standing in Dasana. Feel that connection down, strong, supported, yet soft and relaxed. Okay, now from here we're going to try a Muladhara squat. A very good pose for getting that, for the root chakra, for the Muladhara Chakra, and also for getting that connecting feeling to the ground that this session is about. So there's a few variations. We're basically going to have our feet sort of slightly wider than hip width, or hip width apart for now. You can come down to sitting on a block like this, or maybe 2 blocks. It's quite comfy. You can use your bolster cushion and come down sitting on that. You could even do the squat where basically you just sit on the edge of the chair, edge of the sofa, and just do the arm and leg positions in the same way. You'll still get that nice effect for your root chakra. If you're going to do the full squat, then take a breath in and basically come squat all the way down to the ground. Now I find it depends how low you can get. That's why I say I'm using your blocks and that if you prefer. I find actually going almost down to the ground is comfy than being somewhere like here, because that's just all in your quads. We want to actually have relaxed legs. When you're down here, use your elbows on the inner edges of your knees to push sort of slightly against them, to push your knees slightly out. So there's some pressure there. Bring your hands into heart center. You might want to walk the legs out a little bit wider to get your hands in more. Just sort of, technically they'll be here at your chest, but if that's a bit too much, you can, I just have them here. So when you're down here in the squat, keep your shoulders down and relaxed. Feet nice and grounded, grounded through the heels and feet. Take some deep breaths. Just feel that connection down with the earth supporting you. It's great for your digestion as well, this one. And it stimulates the pelvis and blood flow there, so that's why it's brilliant pose for the root chakra. Okay, so wherever you are, if you're on blocks or props, then remove them. If you're in full squat, just use your hands, lower yourself down to seating on the floor, and we're going to meet down on the floor with our legs out in front of us. Keep your spine nice and aligned and straight. Just have your legs straight out in front of you for a minute. You might want to give your legs a jiggle or window wiper your feet, just to ease off, have a slight little massage after the squat. Now for this next pose is we're a lot more of us are in contact with the earth, so it's going to deepen that sensation of grounding. If you've got a strap, you can use that. If you've not got a strap, you could use a belt, or a belt from a dressing gown, something like that. And you can put that round the ball of your foot and hold on to the strap or belt. You don't need to, you're only going to come as far as is comfortable. So we're going to do a forward fold over one of our front legs. So we'll start by doing the left. If you bring your right leg up to rest on against the inside of your left thigh, so as close to the groin as you can get it. If your knee doesn't relax down here, you can use a block just under the edge of that knee. You can maybe put a blanket under there for a bit of support. So we want to face our torso over the outstretched leg, and on the inhalation raise up and then fold on the exhalation. Lead from the chest, bring your chest forwards towards your knee, so you're not rounding in your back, you're keeping a nice flat back. You might want to be able to hold on to around your foot. You might just want to rest your hands down by your shin. So you might be on a strap. Doesn't matter, just as long as you're folding from the hips and keeping nice and straight. And with each inhalation, a bit like when we were twisting, with each inhalation you want to lengthen and fold a little more on the exhalation. Again, just go to where's comfortable for you. And just on the exhalation, just try and relax. Relax your torso, relax your right knee, sorry. Just relax down into the pose. Okay, and the next inhalation, come back up, bring our arms down, lengthen out that right leg, give your legs another little jiggle. I will repeat on the other side, so bring your left leg up to your groin, your sole of your foot against your right inner thigh. Make sure your torso's in alignment over that outstretched leg. Inhale and raise your arms up. Exhale and fold. Just try and relax into this. The more you focus on the exhalation and the softening, the more you release into the pose. And you allow those areas of tension, maybe in your hamstrings, which is where most of my tension is, or maybe your knee. Just breathe into it and allow your body to relax down. Okay, when you're ready, raise back up. And come back to there. So, Sorry, I just forgot where I was at. Okay, so now back and seated with your legs out in front of you. Again, you have a little jiggle. You could give your legs a little massage if you want. Roll out your shoulders, whatever feels good. And then come to lying down on your back. Have your knees bent and your feet planted on the ground. And then you want to hug your knees in to your chest. And just give yourself a little hug. You can roll from side to side. Massage out your lumbar spine if that feels good. You might want to just rotate your knees around a little bit. It's quite relaxing. If you do that going back the other way, it's just massaging out your spine and feeling that nice grounded connection with your mat and with the earth beneath. Okay, and then when you're ready, you will go into Shavasana. Lengthen your both legs out, have your feet at hip width apart, but just let your feet fall out to the sides. Adjust your shoulder blades so they're nice and flat underneath your top of your back. Your shoulders are relaxing down onto the ground. Arms by your sides, palms facing up. Ever such a slight tuck in your chin so that you're not lolling your head backwards. There's a few variations to Shavasana pose. You could go into constructive rest, where you have your knees up, knees bent, your feet come out to hip, mat width apart, and then just let your knees fall in and just rest against each other. You can keep your arms by your sides. You could rest them on your abdomen or on your ribs. I actually find this quite a relaxing pose. Another one that's very nice is if you're in the full Shavasana pose, to use your cushion or bolster under your knees like this. It just provides that nice sort of comfortable support, soft supported comfort. You could also have a folded blanket under the back of your head if you find that comfortable. If you find that more comfortable than just lying with your head on the ground. So come into Shavasana, whichever position you're comfy in. Close your eyes. Now you want to be feeling back into your breath. Just slowing down. Breathing in and out. Feeling in and out with your breath. Like we did at the beginning of practice, let the breath flow into and out of your body, allowing those deep inhales and slightly longer exhales. Bring your attention to the points of contact with the ground. Feel supported as you relax down into it. Be aware of any sensations in your body. If there are any areas of tension, bring your focus to them and allow them to just soften and relax. Scan down your body from your head to your face, jaw, neck, softening as you go. Through your shoulders, arms, and torso and back. Then your hips, pelvis, down the back of your legs and into your feet. Bring your awareness to the whole body as you feel calm, relaxed and fully supported by the earth. Stay here for a few more deep breaths of your own. you're ready, just slowly bring your awareness back away from your physical body and bring back in some of your surroundings, your environment. Keep your eyes closed though. Bring a little movement to your fingers and toes. You might want to wiggle your fingers and toes. You might want to windscreen wiper your feet again. You want to take a deep breath if you feel this is comfortable for you. You could do a full body stretch. So on your next inhalation, deep breath, raise your arms up over your head and behind you onto the floor behind you. And then on the exhalation, lower the arms back down to either side of your body, sighing it all out. Now keeping your eyes closed if you can, bring your knees up to bend and just roll over onto your side, to the side that's most comfortable for you, into a sort of side fetal position. Stay here for a couple of deep breaths before slowly supporting yourself back up into a seated position, in the easy seat position how we started off the class. With your eyes still closed, bring your hands to the heart centre and maybe take a few deep breaths whilst you thank yourself for taking the time to do your practice today. You can maybe repeat, if you set yourself an intention at the beginning of class, you could repeat that now. Now, just slowly bow forwards with your hands at heart centre. Open your eyes, raise back up. Namaste. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today, and I hope that you've got a nice feeling from doing this practice and you'll take that out into the rest of your day. Thank you.